a fellow at the Hudson Institute, and he joins us live from Tokyo to discuss this further. Dr. Nagao, these talks have concluded in the Malaysian capital of Kuala Lumpur. Is all that's left to do is to show the presidents this piece of paper, and is there anything left to sign, to do, or is there still sticking points to go over? What further actions are left to be taken?
Firstly, they should agree something, especially related with rare earth supply from China to the United States, or the related issue with tariffs as a retaliation. These are the matter of concern just now. Of course, there are a variety of the issues related with, for example, China's export. Russia's export to China about the oil. These are the issues related with Russia's invasion to Ukraine. These are the issues. But at the same time, indeed, the short-term and long-term agreement is different, I think, because currently United States focusing on the Russian issue, Middle East issue to seek the ceasefire. Without solving these issues, United States cannot concentrate the China issue. So that's why in the long run, the U.S. thinks China is very important, but in the short term, U.S. want to postpone this confrontation between U.S. and China. So that's why in this case, U.S. seeks agreement with China is logical based on this situation. That's what happened. In case of China, it looks like China has some strong diplomatic card, looks like the rare earth supply dominance, or as I should, if China continue to support Russia, Russia can continue the invasion to Ukraine. So this means that the U.S. cannot concentrate, and the U.S. Mediation of this issue will not success if China continues to support Russia. So that's why these are China's cards. So in the short term, China has the advantage, it looks like. But in the long run, we should not forget this thing. China's economy is not recovering. Why? Because the U.S.-China confrontation is escalating. U.S. pressure is contributing, and U.S. pressure creates a situation that many investors in the world hesitate to invest to China. So that's why China cannot recover their economy so well. So in the long run, indeed, the decoupling process between U.S. and China is still developing, and China faces a more tough situation compared with the past. So in the long run, the U.S. has advantage. In the short term, U.S. has a disadvantage, and China has advantage. That's what happened in the short term. They agree. But in the long run, this hasn't ended yet.
Yeah, and of course, Dr. Nagao, some of the leverage China does have is these rare earth minerals. What is the importance of them?
This is very important. Simply, the most important example of how important this issue is 30% of the U.S. Weapons for the U.S. military is using parts made in China. So that's why this made in China parts, of course, use China's rare earth or other material made in China. So without this, without trade with China, the U.S. cannot prepare enough military against China. So this is an ironical situation. But to solve these issues, one by one, they need to change. So long run is needed. Just temporary, just now the U.S. need to change is not feasible. So that's why this U.S.-China competition should be the long run, not short term. So that's why this is a serious issue. But at the same time, one by one, step by step, U.S. is solving this issue, I think.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Nagao. Do stay with us. We have further news coming out of Malaysia, where at the ASEAN summit in the Malaysian capital, President Donald Trump has reaffirmed Washington's commitment to Southeast Asia, declaring the United States is, quote, with them 100%. Speaking alongside Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, Trump said both nations had signed a major trade agreement while hailing what he called a golden age for the U.S. economy. The summit also saw the signing of the Kuala Lumpur Peace Accords, marking an end to hostilities between Cambodia and Thailand. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Anwar highlighted the region's deepening economic ties with the United States, noting record-high two-way trade last year. Trump's Asia visit aims to strengthen partnerships across the Indo-Pacific, with new deals expected in energy, technology and defence cooperation. Let's take a listen in to what the President has stated in Malaysia.
Today, the Prime Minister and I signed a major trade deal between the United States and Malaysia, and together we took part in the signing of a historic peace agreement ending the hostilities between Cambodia and Thailand. We're calling it the Kuala Lumpur Peace Accords. Once again, want to congratulate Prime Minister Hun Manet of Cambodia and Prime Minister Anut of. In addition to the agreement with Malaysia this week, we're also signing or nearing completion on trade deals with many other Indo-Pacific partners, from Cambodia to Japan to South Korea. We're delighted to forge richer partnerships on energy, technology, artificial intelligence, critical minerals, and other industries. The United States is having its golden age.
We're now joined by Professor Rohan Gunaratne, and he's an international affairs expert, and he joins us live from Singapore. Thank you very much, Professor Gunaratne, for joining us here on the programme. Of course, Donald Trump came with an extremely aggressive tariff policy. Many of these Southeast Asian nations were some of the hardest hit in the world, with the likes of Vietnam and Cambodia hit with 46, 47% tariffs when Donald Trump first held up that board. How does Donald Trump view these countries economically, the potential of these countries, and why is he there today, and what agenda is he ready to push forward there?
Thomas, what we have seen today is that the United States has started very effectively to negotiate and make deals with the ASEAN region, which is the fastest growing region in the world. Trump is seen both as a businessman and as a peacemaker, as a deal maker. So what we have seen is also the signing of the Cambodia-Thailand agreement. Although the Thais do not want to call it a peace agreement, they have effectively the war has stopped. Trump has said that he will have a very high tariff if they return back to war. What is important to know is that Trump's visit is viewed very positively. The only negative thing in the ASEAN summit is, of course, that Prime Minister Modi did not come and attend the event. But again, Prime Minister has been very well represented by Indian officials and other political leaders who will fill that void.
Yes, and of course, it can't go amiss that signing has happened. Is Donald Trump's visit here a lot of optics? Of course, it's a lot of optics. We heard him cite the name there, the Kuala Lumpur Peace Accords, as a significant point of that speech there, made a big deal about it. Is that him solidifying his image as this global peacemaker, saying, I have got this one? What are your thoughts on that, Professor Gunaratne?
Very much. What Trump did was to send a very clear message to Thailand and to Cambodia. And he has